If a woman never feels she could lose you, she will slowly stop treating your presence like something valuable. Let that sit for a second, folks. Most men do not lose respect because they are bad men. They lose it because they become too available, too predictable, too eager to prove themselves, and too afraid to walk away when they are not being valued. Maybe you have been there, my friend. You text first. You plan everything. You clear your schedule when she calls. You explain yourself too much, give too much, wait too much, and then wonder why her desire starts cooling down. She may still like having you around, but not because she feels deep attraction. Sometimes she keeps you close because you are convenient. Here is the truth a grounded man must understand. A woman respects a man more when she knows his time, energy, and attention are not guaranteed. Not because he plays childish games, not because he acts cold, but because he has a life standards, purpose, and the strength to stop overgiving. Today, I will show you how to become the kind of man she knows she cannot replace. You will learn how to create healthy distance, control your availability, stop over-explaining, stay mysterious, and make your presence feel rare without losing your dignity. Stay with me, because one of these lessons may expose exactly why she stopped trying to impress you. Let's get into it. Number 1. Create distance for desire. Let's get one thing straight, folks. Distance is not rejection. Distance is not punishment. Distance is not some childish game where you disappear just to make her panic. Real distance is when a man stops flooding a woman with constant access and starts living like his time has value. A woman cannot miss what never leaves. She cannot wonder about a man who reports every movement, answers every message in seconds, and makes himself available the moment she feels bored. When she has full access to you all the time, your presence stops feeling chosen. It becomes expected. And once a man becomes expected, desire often starts getting lazy. Now picture James, 48, a sales director in Chicago, dating Monica, 42, a divorced interior designer. In the beginning, James had his own rhythm. He worked hard, trained at the gym, saw his friends, and answered Monica when he had time. She leaned in. She asked questions. She wanted to know when she would see him again. But after a few months, James started making her the center of everything. Good morning, texts every day, check-ins at lunch, calls after work. Weekend plans built only around her schedule. At first, Monica enjoyed the attention. Then something changed. Her replies got shorter. She started saying she was busy. The same affection that once felt exciting now felt heavy. That is the lesson, my friend. Too much presence can kill the hunger for presence. If you are always there, she never has to feel the space where you are not. And without space, there is no longing. Without longing, there is no tension. Without tension, attraction can flatten into comfort, and comfort without respect turns a man into furniture. But listen carefully. This does not mean you become cold. A weak man hears distance and thinks he should ignore her, act arrogant, or vanish for days. That is not strength. That is insecurity wearing sunglasses. A grounded man creates distance by returning to his own life. He does not fake being busy. He becomes genuinely occupied with things that matter. His health, his work, his mission, his friendships, his peace. If she texts, you do not need to jump like an employee waiting for orders. You answer when you can answer with presence. If she wants to meet you, do not cancel your entire life to prove you care. You offer time that fits your world too. If you are always initiating, you pull back enough to see if she also reaches. Not to test her like a boy, but to reveal the truth like a man. Here is what distance does when it is healthy. It reminds her that your attention is valuable because it is not endless. It gives her room to feel your absence. It lets her wonder what you are doing, what you are building, what kind of man you are when she is not watching. And that curiosity matters. Desire needs a little air. If you smother it, it suffocates. A man with Stoic discipline understands that love does not require self-abandonment. You can care about a woman and still keep your center. You can desire her and still protect your schedule. You can enjoy her softness and still refuse to become her emotional doormat. So create distance with dignity. Pull your energy back from constant access. Let your life become full again. When you stop orbiting her, she finally has the chance to feel your gravity. That is where respect begins and desire wakes up again. If you are ready to stop being everywhere and start being valued, write this below. I create space. Stay with me, because the next lesson shows why your time becomes more attractive the moment she realizes it is not always available. Number 2, control your availability. Here is the blunt truth, folks. The more easily a woman can access your time, attention, and energy, the less she feels the weight of receiving it. That does not mean you become cold. It does not mean you punish her with silence. It means you stop living like your schedule belongs to her. A man who is always available slowly trains a woman to expect him not value him. He answers every text instantly. He drops his plans when she calls. He says yes before he even checks what he wants. At first that may look sweet. It may even feel romantic. But over time it sends a dangerous message. My time is cheap. My attention is automatic. My life can be interrupted whenever you feel like reaching for me. And listen, my friend, that is not masculine presence. That is emotional dependence dressed up as kindness. Women are drawn to men who have purpose. A man with a full life creates a natural sense of value because his time is not lying around waiting to be taken. He has work to build health, to maintain friendships, to honor responsibilities, to handle, and private space to protect. When he gives attention, it means something because it was chosen, not because he had nothing else going on. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." That line should hit every man watching this. If you waste your hours waiting for her next message, canceling your own priorities, and reorganizing your life around her mood, do not be surprised when she stops respecting the time you refuse to respect yourself. Control your availability by controlling your own life first. If you are at work, work. If you are training, train. If you are with your family, be with them. If you are resting, rest without guilt. You do not need to prove love by being reachable every second. A woman who values you will respect that you are a man with structure, not a man floating around hoping she gives him direction. This does not mean you ignore her just to create anxiety. That is childish. The point is not to make her suffer. The point is to stop rewarding low effort with unlimited access. If she reaches out with warmth, meet it with warmth. If she makes plans with respect, show up with presence. But if she only comes around when she is bored, lonely, or needs validation, do not drop your entire life like a servant hearing a bell. A Stoic man understands the difference between love and availability addiction. Love gives with dignity. Addiction gives because it is terrified of being replaced. Love says, "I want to be with you." Addiction says, "I will abandon myself so you do not abandon me." That difference is everything. When you control your availability, something shifts. She starts to understand that your time has a gate, your energy has a standard, your presence is not something she can summon casually and neglect afterward. And if there is genuine desire in her, that awareness will make her lean in. She will value the moment more because she knows it is not guaranteed. Scarcity, when rooted in purpose, makes your attention feel cleaner, stronger, and more attractive without begging for power from anyone. So stop being instantly reachable just to feel needed. Be reachable when it aligns with your values, your life, and your respect for yourself. That is not arrogance. That is order. If you are ready to stop giving unlimited access to people who have not earned it, write this below. I value time. Keep watching because the next lesson reveals why too much certainty can quietly drain the tension that keeps desire alive. Number 3. Let her feel uncertain. Let's be real, folks. A little uncertainty is not cruelty. It is not manipulation when it comes from self-respect. It is simply the result of being a man she cannot fully control. The moment a woman knows you, will stay, no matter how little effort she gives, no matter how casually she treats you, no matter how predictable you become. The emotional tension starts dying. Now understand this carefully, my friend. You are not trying to make her anxious. You are not trying to hurt her. You are not playing with her heart like a boy who needs power because he lacks purpose. You are creating one simple truth in her mind. This man values himself enough to walk away from what does not honor him. That kind of uncertainty is healthy. It makes her aware that your presence is chosen, not guaranteed. It reminds her that love is not a blank check she can cash forever without giving anything back. When a woman senses that you have standards, she pays attention differently. She speaks differently. She treats your time differently. Why? Because deep down people respect what they can lose. Picture Daniel, 46, a project manager in Atlanta, dating Vanessa, 41, a stylish salon owner. At first Daniel told her everything, every plan, every feeling, every fear. He constantly reassured her that he was not going anywhere. Vanessa liked him, but she slowly became careless. She cancelled plans last minute, took hours to reply, and expected him to understand. Then Daniel changed. Not with anger, not with drama. He simply stopped over reassuring her. He kept his plans when she cancelled. He did not explain every quiet hour. He stayed warm, but he became less predictable. Vanessa noticed. Suddenly she asked more questions. She wanted to know when she would see him. She leaned back in because she realized Daniel was not a man she could take for granted. That is the point. Certainty kills desire when certainty means you have no boundaries. A woman should feel emotionally safe with you, yes, but she should not feel so certain of your attachment that she stops respecting your standards. There is a difference between making a woman feel secure and making her feel like she owns you. Most men confuse reassurance with attraction. They think the more they prove they will never leave, the more she will love them. But if you overdo it, you remove the very tension that keeps her emotionally engaged. You become too easy to figure out, too available to worry about, too attached to lose. A grounded man keeps a little space around his inner world. He does not explain every move. He does not confess every insecurity the moment it appears. He does not say yes just to keep the peace. He lets his actions carry weight. He lets her wonder sometimes, not because he is hiding betrayal, but because he is living a life that is larger than her approval. And folks, that is deeply attractive. A man who cannot be emotionally possessed has a certain pull. He can love, but he does not cling. He can reassure, but he does not beg. He can desire her, but he does not make her the judge of his worth. So let her feel the kind of uncertainty that comes from your strength. Let her know you care, but also let her feel that disrespect has consequences. That balance creates desire without desperation. If you are ready to stop being so predictable that she forgets your value, write this below. I stay grounded. Stay tuned, because the next lesson shows why a man with real options does not need to brag about them. Number 4. Show you have options. Listen closely, folks. Showing you have options does not mean flirting in her face, posting bait online, or acting like a teenage boy trying to make her jealous. That is insecurity. Real options are quieter than that. A woman feels them in the way you carry yourself, the way other people respect you, and the way your life does not collapse when she pulls back. A man with options does not need to announce them. He does not say, "Plenty of women want me." The moment you have to say it, you sound hungry for validation. The stronger message is this: you have a full life. You are respected. You have friends. You have purpose. You can connect with people easily. You are not trapped in her approval. This matters because people value what others value. When a woman senses that your presence is respected by others, she looks at you differently. Not because she is shallow, but because social value is real. A man who is wanted, trusted, admired, and welcomed carries a different energy from a man who sits alone, waiting for one woman to decide his worth. Marcus Aurelius said, The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. In this context, insanity is building your entire identity around one woman's attention. The Stoic man escapes that. He does not need a crowd to feel valuable, but he also does not cut himself off from the world just because he likes one woman. This is where many men fail. The moment they become interested, they abandon their social life. They stop talking to friends. They stop going to places where they feel alive. They stop improving themselves. They become emotionally monogamous before the relationship has even earned that level of sacrifice. And then they wonder why she stopped seeing them as exciting. My friend, do not confuse loyalty with self-erasure. A loyal man can still be socially alive. He can still be kind to other people. He can still carry himself with confidence in a room. He can still be the kind of man women notice without betraying the woman he is with. That is the difference between value and disrespect. If you want her to feel that you have options, build a life that proves it naturally. Take care of your body. Dress like you. Respect yourself. Speak with calm authority. Keep friendships strong. Develop skills. Handle your money. Move through the world like a man who has direction. When she sees that you are not desperate for her to complete you, her respect rises. And if this kind of grounded masculine growth speaks to you, consider joining the channel as a member. Inside this community, we go deeper into self-mastery, dating, psychology, Stoic discipline, and the kind of confidence that does not need noise to be felt. If you want to stop guessing and start building yourself into a man who is harder to replace, membership is for men who are ready to take this seriously. Remember, options are not always romantic. Your options include your mission, your peace, your standards, your ability to walk away, and your willingness to choose yourself. That is what makes you powerful. That quiet certainty changes how she feels around you. So, stop trying to prove that other women want you. Become the man whose energy makes that obvious without one cheap word. If you are ready to stop acting like she is your only doorway to value, write this below: I have options. Stay with me, because the next lesson shows why predictability can make even a good man feel too easy to forget. Number 5. Become hard to predict. Let's be honest, folks. Predictability kills curiosity. When a woman knows exactly what you will say, exactly when you will text, exactly how you will react, and exactly how far you will bend to keep her comfortable, the spark starts losing oxygen. She may still like you. She may still appreciate you. But desire needs movement. It needs depth. It needs the feeling that there is still more of you to discover. Now, do not misunderstand me, my friend. Being hard to predict does not mean being unreliable. It does not mean canceling plans, lying, acting moody, or disappearing to create confusion. That is boyish behavior. A mature man is dependable in character, but not boring in presence. His principles are steady, but his life has layers. Picture Kevin, 51, a dentist in San Diego, dating Patricia, 46, a corporate trainer. Kevin was a good man, but everything about him became routine. Same morning text, same Friday restaurant, same compliments, same stories. Same reaction whenever Patricia teased him or challenged him. She knew he would always agree, always explain, always make himself easy. Over time, she stopped leaning forward. She did not dislike him. She simply stopped wondering about him. Then Kevin woke up, not by playing games, but by returning to himself. He started hiking again on Saturday mornings. He took a cooking class he had wanted to try for years. He stopped over-reporting every detail of his day. He planned a different kind of date, a jazz club downtown instead of the same steakhouse. Patricia noticed the shift. She started asking questions again. Where did this come from? What else do I not know about you? That curiosity brought energy back into the room. That is what you want. Not confusion, curiosity. A woman should feel that you are familiar enough to trust, but not so fully mapped out that there is nothing left to explore. If she can predict every thought, every move, every emotional reaction, she stops feeling the pull to study you. And when a woman stops studying you, she often starts taking you for granted. A man with depth does not dump his entire mind onto the table every night. He shares with intention. He has goals. She is not fully seen yet. He has private disciplines, quiet ambitions, and interests that do not depend on her approval. He can surprise her without performing. He can change the rhythm without becoming unstable. This is where Stoic strength shows up. A Stoic man is not controlled by the need to be understood every second. He does not panic when she wonders about him. He does not rush to explain every silence, every plan, every decision. He lets his actions reveal him over time. That makes him calm, grounded, and harder to read in the best way. So break the dull pattern. Do something different because your life deserves variety, not because you are trying to trick her. Stop repeating the same emotional script. Stop being the man who always reacts exactly as expected. Let her see that you are still growing, still moving, still becoming. That is attractive because it reminds her that being with you is not a closed book. It is a story still unfolding. When your life has motion, her imagination has somewhere to go. When your presence has layers, her desire has something to reach for. That is not manipulation. That is masculine depth, and depth always beats routine in the long run. If you are ready to become a man she cannot figure out, in one glance, write this below. I stay layered. Don't go anywhere, because the next lesson reveals how too much explaining can quietly drain your masculine authority. Number 6. Stop explaining yourself. Let me be direct, folks. The more you explain yourself from fear, the less powerful your words become. A man who constantly justifies every decision, every delay, every boundary, and every quiet moment does not look honest. He looks afraid. Afraid she will misunderstand him. Afraid she will be upset. Afraid she will pull away if he does not hand her a full report of his mind. Now there is a difference between clear communication and nervous explaining. Clear communication is strong. It says, I am busy tonight, I will call you tomorrow. Nervous explaining says, I am so sorry, I did not mean to ignore you. Work got crazy, then my phone died, then I thought about texting, but I did not want you to think I was distant. Do you hear the difference, my friend? One sounds like a man with order. The other sounds like a man begging not to lose approval. Women can feel that. They may not say it directly, but they feel. When your words come from confidence or fear, when you over-explain, you teach her that your choices need her permission. You make your own life look negotiable. And once a woman senses that you are always trying to defend your right to exist, she stops feeling the weight of your masculine center. Epictetus said, if you wish to be a writer, write. If you wish to be a man of principle, live by principle. That lesson applies here. Stop talking like a man who hopes to be understood and start living like a man whose actions already make sense. If your life has discipline, your explanations can be shorter. If your intentions are clean, your tone can be calm. If your boundary is reasonable, you do not need a courtroom speech to defend it. This does not mean you become rude. It does not mean you shut her down when she asks a fair question. A grown man answers with respect, but he does not spill 10 minutes of nervous detail every time she raises an eyebrow. He does not apologize for having priorities. He does not act guilty for taking time to himself. He does not turn every small misunderstanding into a trial where he is both the accused and the lawyer. The man she fears losing is not the man who explains the most. It is the man who stands the clearest. He speaks simply. He keeps his word. He lets consistency build trust instead of using paragraphs to cover insecurity. His yes means yes. His no means no. His silence does not feel childish because his presence has already proven mature. And this is where desire changes. A woman may appreciate a man who talks a lot, but she respects a man whose words have weight. When you speak less from panic, each sentence lands harder. When you stop chasing understanding, she starts paying more attention. She begins to wonder what sits beneath your calm. That mystery is not a trick. It is the natural result of self-control. So stop explaining every move like you are applying for permission. If you are busy, say you are busy. If you need space, say you need space. If you disagree, say it plainly. Then let the moment breathe. A man who cannot tolerate being misunderstood becomes a prisoner of other people's opinions. A Stoic man accepts that not everyone will approve, and he still remains himself without surrendering your dignity to her mood. If you are ready to let your actions speak louder than nervous explanations, write this below: I speak calmly. Keep watching, because the next lesson shows why her investment matters more than your effort when it comes to respect and desire. Number 7. Make her invest first. Let's be honest, folks. A woman does not deeply value what she never has to work for. If you are always the one texting first, planning first, apologizing first, driving across town first, and bending your life around her mood first, you are not building desire. You are teaching her that your effort is automatic. Now listen carefully, my friend. This does not mean you sit back like a lazy king and expect a woman to worship you. That is not strength. That is ego. What it means is simple. Stop pouring more into the connection than she is willing to pour back. A healthy woman who is truly interested will invest. She will make time. She will ask questions. She will suggest plans. She will care about your world, not just enjoy the benefits of your attention. Picture Anthony, 53, a financial planner in Boston, dating Rachel, 47, a wellness coach. Anthony liked Rachel so much that he did everything. He picked every restaurant, sent every morning text, adjusted his work schedule, paid for every weekend away, and always drove to her side of town. Rachel was pleasant. She smiled, kissed him, enjoyed the attention, but she rarely initiated anything. One Friday, Anthony stopped chasing the rhythm. Not with anger, not with a speech. He simply waited to see whether Rachel would reach. 3 days passed. Then she texted, "I feel like you have been quiet." Anthony calmly replied, "I have been giving space to see if this is something we are both building." That sentence changed the energy. Why? Because for the first time, Rachel had to feel the weight of her own lack of effort. Anthony was not punishing her. He was no longer carrying the whole table by himself. And that truth finally had room to breathe between them. This is where most men make a costly mistake. They think if they invest more, she will eventually love more. But attraction rarely works that way. When a woman receives non-stop effort without needing to give much back, she can start relaxing into comfort instead of rising into desire. She enjoys the service, but she does not feel the urgency to keep the man. Investment creates attachment. When she gives time, emotion, thought, effort, and care, she begins to feel connected to what she is building. If she plans a date, she thinks about you before it happens. If she reaches out first, she feels her own desire moving toward you. If she tries to make you happy, she starts valuing your happiness. That is why her investment matters. A Stoic man does not beg for reciprocity. He observes it. If she gives warmth, he gives warmth. If she shows effort, he meets it with masculine presence. But if she gives crumbs, he does not reward crumbs with a feast. He steps back, not to manipulate her, but to let reality show itself. And folks, this has a quiet sexual power to it. A woman feels more drawn to a man she has to reach for. Not because he is cruel, but because his energy is not cheap. His affection is real, but it is not desperate. His presence is generous, but it is not unlimited. That balance makes her respect him in her own heart. So stop trying to win her by outworking her indifference. Let her invest. Let her show interest. Let her reveal whether she wants access to you badly enough to put something on the line. If you are done carrying the whole connection alone, write this below: I require effort. Stay with me, because the next lesson brings everything back to the mission that makes a man attractive even before he says a word. Number 8. Stay focused on mission. Here is the truth that separates boys from men, folks. A woman may enjoy attention, but she respects direction. If your whole life starts bending around her mood, her replies, her beauty, her approval, you stop looking like a man with a mission and start looking like a man waiting to be chosen. That is not attractive for long, my friend. It may feel flattering to her at first. She may enjoy being the center of your world for a little while. But over time, if she sees that you abandon your goals, your discipline, your friends, your health and your standards, just to stay close to her, something changes. She may not say it out loud, but she feels it. This man has no center of his own. A man on mission carries a different energy. He is not cold. He is not unavailable. He is not trying to make her feel small. He simply has a life that demands his focus. His work matters. His body matters. His finances matter. His purpose matters. His peace matters. And because those things matter, his attention becomes valuable. When he gives it, it has weight. When your days have direction, her mind cannot reduce you to another man waiting around, hoping she decides to feel desire again for you today. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That is the mindset here. Stop talking about becoming high value. Stop performing confidence. Stop pretending you are busy while secretly waiting for her message. Build something real. Become the man whose calendar, body, bank account and character show that he is serious about his life. Because here is what happens when you lose your mission. You start over-checking your phone. You start overthinking her tone. You start making her silence the main event of your day. You become reactive. If she is warm, you feel powerful. If she is distant, you feel worthless. That is not love. That is emotional slavery. Stoicism calls you back to what is yours. Your actions, your discipline, your thoughts, your standards. Her mood is not yours to control. Her attraction is not yours to beg for. Her respect is not something you can demand with words. But you can become the kind of man whose life is too grounded to be shaken by every shift in her attention. And folks, there is a strong sexual pull in that kind of stability. A woman can feel when a man is not easily moved. She feels the difference between a man who wants her and a man who needs her to feel complete. Wanting has strength. Needing has fear. A man on mission can desire a woman deeply, but he does not kneel before her attention like it is the source of his oxygen. So return to your mission. Train when you said you would train. Work on the business, the skill, the craft, the property, the book, the career, whatever calls you forward. Keep your promises to yourself. Spend time with men who sharpen you. Handle your responsibilities. Build a life so full that no woman can become the whole sky above you. This is not about making her chase by pretending not to care. This is about becoming so anchored that she knows if she wants a place beside you, she must respect the direction you are walking. A woman fears losing a man who is moving somewhere because if he leaves, the world he was building keeps moving without her. If you are ready to stop orbiting her and start leading your own life, write this below. I choose mission. Let's keep going, because the next lesson shows how to make your presence feel rare without acting cold or fake. Number 9. Make presence feel rare. Let's be honest, folks. Your presence becomes rare when a woman cannot access it on demand. Not because you are playing games, not because you are acting cold, but because you have finally stopped giving away your time like it has no price. A rare man is not absent. He is selective. He shows up with strength, warmth, and attention, but he does not linger where he is being taken for granted. He does not sit by the phone waiting for her boredom to turn into interest. He does not become the man she can reach only when every other part of her life gets quiet. Think about Charles, 59, a business consultant in Seattle, dating Marlene, 52, a divorced attorney. At first, Charles made himself available for everything. If Marlene wanted dinner, he changed his schedule. If she cancelled, he stayed open for another chance. If she called late, he answered even when he was exhausted. Marlene enjoyed him, but she stopped valuing his effort. Then Charles changed the rhythm. He did not become rude. He simply became harder to access without respect. When she cancelled last minute, he made other plans. When she called during his work block, he returned the call later. When they met, he was fully present, calm, masculine, and attentive. Marlene felt the difference. His presence had weight again. That is the key, my friend. Rare does not mean distant. Rare means meaningful. When you are with her, be fully there. Do not half listen. Do not stare at your phone. Do not act too cool to care. Give her the kind of focused presence most men cannot give. But when you are not with her, go live your life. Let her feel that your world does not pause every time she disappears. A woman feels desire more intensely when your presence has contrast. If you are always there, she has nothing to compare it to. But when you give her warmth, then return to your mission, she remembers the warmth. She feels the absence. She begins to understand that being close to you is not automatic. It is something she gets to experience when the connection is being respected. This is where many men fail. They hear rare and think they should become unavailable all the time. No, folks. If you are never available, she will not desire you. She will simply stop trusting you. The power is in balance. You are not a ghost. You are not a servant. You are a man with a full life who chooses when and where his energy goes. There is quiet sexual power in that. A woman can feel when a man is present because he chooses her, not because he has nowhere else to be. She feels the difference between a man who is leaning in from strength and a man who is clinging from hunger. One feels attractive, the other feels heavy. So make your presence feel rare by respecting it first. Stop saying yes when you mean no. Stop extending conversations that feel one-sided. Stop filling every silence. Stop rewarding inconsistency with instant access. Give her your best when she meets you with respect, and pull your attention back when she treats it like a spare resource. A rare presence is not loud. It is not arrogant. It is calm, warm, and limited by self-respect. That is what makes her notice it. And that changes everything in her body. If you are ready to make your presence something she feels, not something she assumes, write this below. I move wisely. Stay with me, because the final lesson shows how to become the kind of man she knows she may never find again. Number 10. Become hard to replace. Let's bring this home, folks. A woman fears losing a man when she knows he is not easy to find again. Not because he scares her, not because he manipulates her, not because he plays little games with her emotions. She fears losing him because his value is real, his presence is steady, and his life has weight without needing her to approve it. Being hard to replace is not about acting superior. It is about becoming uncommon. Most men are predictable in the same weak ways. They chase too early. They explain too much. They abandon their mission. They become available on command. They pour effort into a woman before she has shown consistent respect. Then they wonder why she stops seeing them as powerful. A hard-to-replace man does not move like that. He has standards without being bitter. He has warmth without being needy. He has desire without surrendering control of his life. He can enjoy a woman deeply, but he does not turn her attention into his oxygen. That balance is rare, and rarity creates respect. Here is what makes him different. He brings peace, but he is not passive. He brings masculine direction, but he is not controlling. He listens, but he does not beg to be understood. He gives affection, but he does not reward disrespect. He can make a woman feel seen, desired, and safe, while still making it clear that access to him is earned through mutual effort. That is the kind of man who stays in a woman's mind. Not the loudest man, not the richest man, not the man throwing desperate compliments at her all day. The man she remembers is the one whose presence felt solid, the one who had a life before her and would still have a life without her, the one who made her feel chosen but never made her feel like she owned him. And listen, my friend, this is where the subtle sexual pull becomes strongest. A woman feels something different around a man who is grounded. His calm makes her relax. His confidence makes her lean in. His boundaries make her respect him. His mystery makes her curious. His discipline makes her feel that if she loses him, she is not just losing attention, she is losing a rare kind of masculine presence. But you cannot fake this. You cannot watch one video and suddenly pretend to be irreplaceable. You become hard to replace through repeated choices. You keep your word. You stop overgiving. You build your health. You handle your money. You protect your time. You speak less from fear and more from certainty. You stop trying to convince women of your value and start living in a way that makes your value obvious. That is Stoicism in action. You control yourself first. You stop blaming women for not respecting the version of you that you have not built yet. You look in the mirror and ask, would I respect this man? Would I trust this man? Would I follow this man? If the answer is no, then the work is not to trick her. The work is to become stronger. At the end of the day, folks, a woman fears losing a man who has something she cannot easily replace. His purpose, his calm, his strength, his emotional control, his ability to walk away without hatred and love without weakness. So become that man, not for her fear, not for her approval, for yourself, because when you become truly hard to replace the fear of losing, you becomes natural. She feels it because you no longer need to force it. That is when she understands you were never just another man to replace easily. So folks,